vivo, G4 presenta El Picador contra El Nerdo Loco y Internacional Fenómeno. ¡Ataca the show!
I'm hurting now.
Is it better?
You win. Actually, that's got Gomez on it. I've had a donkey. You'll see. Welcome to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. I'm Kevin Pereira. Olivia Munn is out. But now to the important part. Amy Paffrath is here today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, Kevin.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
We are coming to you live from the G4 studios in Los Angeles.
Big fan of what you do on the E-News now.
Oh, thank you so much.
On the internet with the E-News
You're
now.
helping with our top clicks of the week, huh?
That's the least I could do. Love the Twitter, too.
Yeah, we're buddies on Twitter.
I just started following you. Very, very fantastic.
I have interesting things to say. So
That's our happy chat. Now
really
let's get on with the show. On the show today, we have what looks like a rap video, but doesn't sound like a rap video. I'm serious. The worst rap ever will make today's Around the Net barely understandable. And then Blog Watch will get you ready for Halloween with 3 special effects sites that will help you be a convincing Michael Jackson, no matter what color you are. You know?
That is right. Then Mayhem Miller and Blair Butler debate UFC 104. Which heavyweight will win and who will walk away with the light heavyweight belt? We'll find out their picks in MMA chokehold. And then we'll make you tuck your tail between your legs when we investigate people who get off by dressing like Chuck E. Cheese. It's the furry phenomenon in WTF.
Furries. Okay, there you're going pedophile. Nice.
Time now to run down.
Why else do you dress up like Chuck E. Cheese and stand by the skee ball machine?
And drive white vans
I
around
got some
park?
tickets for you. You want a switchblade comb? Whatever you do.
Man, you know a lot about that, Kevin. It's a little scary.
Let's go around the net. Were you a cheerleader?
You know it.
Were you really?
Of course.
Why
I can do some backflips for you.
Why do cheerleaders clap like that? It's
because
the weird.
It makes a louder noise.
Does it? No, it doesn't. Does it really?
It
Why do
does.
they just tell you that?
Because this is not good form.
Well, that didn't have the enthusiasm. If you're like, yeah, go team, go. That doesn't have
It's
it.
technique,
You clap like
Kevin.
that.
Technique.
All right, fine, fair enough. Anyone who's ever, I'm not winning this battle.
No.
Anyone who's ever been to Philadelphia knows that it's called the city of brotherly love. Ironically.
That's right. Fox 29 in Philly recorded today's number 5 after the Phillies advanced to the World Series.
After the Dodgers scored fewer field goals in the wickets or whatever, and they lost the contest, some of the Philly fans decided to eliminate themselves.
Look at the cab. It's a red cab, and it's a victory cab. That's a pretty good coincidence. Watch the guy in the white pants and the red shirt. All right? The cab driver realizes, I made the light, let me get out of here. And that guy takes a tumble.
I love the slow-mo. Spinal injuries are hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Watching someone get paralyzed in slow motion is much more entertaining.
It's money shot right there. Now, that is the only gratification the Dodgers fans are going to get today.
Yeah, obviously. I'm serious. They have no idea how to riot in Philly. Because if that was Detroit, the cab would have been upside down. They would have had to call in RoboCop to end the violence. Like, it would have been on point.
Well, if it was St. Louis, it would have been on cinder blocks and missing all 4 tires.
And Arkansas, that would have been in the front yard. So, yes.
Well, today's number 4 comes to us from Australia's Evening News.
In this clip, it's a recent clip from 9MSM in Australia.
Good accent.
Easy there.
It's
I
good.
got it. What, you haven't seen
Don't
it yet?
lose your confidence.
Anchor. Why'd you...
Keep it going. You're good at Hitchna.
Talk about performance anxiety. It's like, no, you got it. See if you can keep it up. I'm like,
we'll see.
Here's a hint. I can't.
Try not to go
Australia.
British with it.
I got it. Koalas have clap. It's chlamydia. Melbourne anchor. They do. Seriously, check the wiki. They really do. Melbourne anchor Peter Hitchner.
Nice.
Oh, no. Boy.
I thought it was good.
Peter Hitchner was joined by an uninvited guest.
Police say they hope someone burdened with information will help solve a 27-year-old gangland murder.
You call yourselves journalists? I said there was a giant friggin' bird terrorizing your city right behind you, and you didn't even notice it.
Captain freaking Oblivious.
Yes.
I, for one, welcome our new gull overlords.
I can't believe the amateur hour that is the news. You look behind you, there's the story of the year,
Hello.
and you're good to go.
Right?
I missed it. Oh, let's check the Doppler instead of the giant friggin' bird. Oh, all right, fair enough. But we've long known that adding laugh tracks and bouncing music stings to unfunny, terrifying, or sad things can actually trick the audience into thinking that they're funny. You know, like, for example, there's that show 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
It works there.
It does work. But it also works on things that are intentionally disturbing, like the 1995 Deadly Sins thriller, Seven, which utilizes both a fake audience and a music cue from Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
Somebody phoned Ganesh. I think we got a record here. Better homes and gardens. How about that? He's dead. Thank you, Doctor.
I love that. It works.
It's fantastic. Brad Pitt is a comedic genius when he's not trying to be.
Yes, that is true.
And I never knew forced vomiting and murders could be so entertaining.
That's like half the stories on E! News Now, though. You did it.
Kevin, you've never seen my show, have you?
I'd like to exercise my Fifth Amendment rights, actually. Hey! All right. We're friends again.
Oh, laugh track saves the day.
Music stings are awesome.
One of the greatest things about the internet is that it's opened up for the arts and entertainment world to performers who'd otherwise have a tough time getting exposure.
It's true, and that's the case for future pop megastars like Melbourne, Australia's R.A.E.D. You're a big fan.
Huge fan.
Huge fan. Who isn't, really?
I know.
Here's the video for their new song, You Gotta Love This City, which will someday join the pantheon of timeless city songs like Cleveland Rocks or New York, New York, or I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
Geez, you know my lips are gonna rush your world so best back up boy for a breaking bones. You know when I flip my script, you know I'm gonna rush your world. So I gotta tell my bro right here beside me that I really love the flow all around me, going out around me. Gotta love the city, baby. Yeah, I really love the city, baby. Jump for me, I bounce to the beat, I move aside, boy, now where's my new ride? So I gotta tell my bro right here beside me that I really love the flow all around me, going out around me. Gotta love the city, baby. Yeah, I really love the city, baby.
That's a jam.
That is, don't encourage that.
Club hit right there.
No, don't encourage that.
I'm gonna put it on my playlist on my iPod.
Oh God, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. I suddenly have an urge to never visit Australia again. And I liked Australia.
I know, and we forgot to mention in that pantheon of city songs, this one belongs in the basement where no one could see it or hear it.
Yes, right next to the MySpace girls.
Yes, get it out of there. No,
Hey, still
you
ahead.
Like that one?
No, I liked it. Today's #1 item on Around the Net will show you your past self. Well, it's going to show your past self how to use the web, which is scary. Yeah.
It's the internet for kids right after this.
The internet's perfect for kids.
This portion of Attack of the Show is brought to you by Harley-Davidson. Go to Maxim.com/hometownharley to win a motorcycle of your choice, delivered by the 2009 Maxim Hometown Hottie.
This is your first Attack #1, right? Well, welcome. This is a good one to have. Coming in at #1 today is an artifact from the early days of the worldwide interweb, resurrected by the guys over at Everything Is Terrible.
Back when we first plugged in our modems to dial into Prodigy or CompuServe, no one really knew what the internet was or what you could do with it, especially parents.
Yeah, which is why companies produce videos like the one you're about to see. So gather around, kids. Get them juice boxes. Let's all learn something.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet, cyberspace, sex free, hello virtual reality. Interact with appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
What's a web page? Something ducks walk on? Ha ha, very funny. Surfing? That sounds pretty cool already. Andrew, tell me to interrupt. What's a browser? What does download mean?
Let's go back to the Hooligans homepage and find a game.
It looks just like it does in our history books, only it seems more real.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome because I have the same haircut as that little girl. And that's like
it's a timeless cut.
It really is.
A timeless cut.
I'm telling myself that.
I used to do the parted in the middle with the shaved sides.
The butt cut.
But I was an aggressive inliner in those days, so I was cooler. It's all right. I could pull it off. I wasn't a laugh line. Thanks. My family internet times, that I can recall at least, were not like that. They certainly
Well,
weren't.
I'm assuming you were viewing much more topless fantasy artwork.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But most of the family time was like yelling at mom or dad for picking up on the phone while I was trying to download said pornography.
So annoying.
Yeah, because it takes
Entering a
forever
chat.
to get.
Oh. What is that?
I don't. Oh, I don't.
Hello.
Thank you. I don't think we've
Hi.
ever had a Sherpa on the show before. Thank you.
It's pretty awesome.
Should we read the scroll?
Came from the Alps. Yeah, let's read it.
Okay. Well, apparently. Thank you.
It's got a nice
We've
butt.
Yes, we've awoken the ancient spirits of the mountains.
Oh man, I knew I shouldn't have got out of bed this morning.
No, this doesn't sound good. Seriously,
No.
hold on. Let me. Okay, blah blah blah. Unholy terror. Yada yada. Something about heads on sticks. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Apparently, an ancient yeti is going to teach us how to make something useful.
Oh, that actually doesn't sound so bad. Does he have a name?
That's the thing. It's sexy yeti.
Ah. Oh, I thought he'd at least have a bikini on.
Yeah, or shave.
Right. Waxing, maybe?
Broadcasting from WAOTS in Los Angeles.
Greetings, friend and foul. It is I, Sexy Yeti, speaking to you directly from the fertile recesses of my magnificent mind. And with me, as always, my companion, Dennis. Dennis, you cad. Well, let's get to it, shall we? Today, I'm going to show you how to make a floral margarita. Perfect for a wedding or any occasion. First, fill a large decorative margarita glass with glass beads, available at any hobby store. Next, affix a cardboard disc to the top of the glass by means of glue from the hottest of glue guns. And finally, lovingly affix your silk flowers to the top of the disc. Oh, these flowers remind me of my woodland home. The trees there, they are my lovers. Oh, yes. 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 Oh, yes. So sexy. Aye, puppy, see. Yes. 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 Fascinating. Join me next time when I'll show you how to replace the serpentine belt on your 1998 Monte Carlo. Arrivederci, darlings.
Sexy. It's too hot for TV.
That's his name.
It's hot.
I can't wait for the next one. I mean, I've always wanted to know how to change a serpentine belt, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can just let me know how that turns
Yeah,
out.
I will, yeah. Hey, Halloween, by the way, it's right around the corner, and let's be honest, not everyone can go out dressed as like a sexy witch. You know, for example, I'm going to go as a sexy nurse.
I hope I never see that.
Oh.
Here's a Halloween-themed special effects edition of Blog Watch.
It's almost All Hallows Eve, the time of year you get to scare those annoying trick-or-treaters. Now, if you need ideas for last-minute costumes or cheap ways to make a horror flick, then we've got just what you need in these 3 do-it-yourself sites. First up is the MacGyver-esque minds at Make Magazine. They enjoy Halloween as much as the rest of us, and to prove it, they've posted plenty of homemade costumes, decorations, and animatronics, like these 12-foot-tall Transformer yard ornaments, a head-tracking animatronic skull, and an extra-large stone golem costume. But they wouldn't be called Make if they didn't show you how to create. They've got plenty of how-tos, including prop pages from the Necronomicon and this playable Pac-Man costume. All you need is some lightweight wood, an old laptop, a controller, plexiglass, and some paint. Bamf! Now you've got an interactive costume that the whole party can enjoy. Next on our list is Instructables.com. This compendium of DIY projects offers plenty of costume ideas with detailed photos documenting the entire process. Looking for a Star Trek command badge? Well, they've got it. Want to make a Fallout 3 power suit helmet? Yep, they've got that too. They even have a tutorial on creating his and her iPod costumes. But if you really want to impress your friends with a kick-ass effect, check out this burn victim tutorial. Start by using silk strips to pin your ears and lips in a distorted position. Apply gelatin to your burn area, globbing it on to imitate a scarring effect. Finally, apply your makeup, starting with a red base and ending with black for a charred effect. Then go to the party and make people puke at the sight of your gory face. Last but not least, we have the masters of indie filmmaking, IndieMogul.com. Every year around Halloween, they start their branded Mogulween series of backyard effects. They offer tips on creating believable makeup, scene-stealing props, and special effects for your independent films. This year, they offer up their expert tips on recreating Sam Raimi's shaky cam from the Evil Dead movies. For $10, they teach you how to build this simple rig. Start with a piece of wood about 5 inches wide and 3 feet long. Attach 2 handles to each end, drill a hole in the center to mount the camera, and you're ready to go. It's the perfect iconic shot for any demonic chase scene, or for documenting your ability to terrify kids that are looking for candy. Just try not to overuse it. So what's the holdup? Make the most of this Halloween with your burnt face, life-size Transformers, and shaky cam. Just don't come crying to us when you scare the shit out of yourself.
I am so going with Melty Face because that beats Sexy Nurse any day of the week. Now, let's go to Kevin, who has some breaking news to tell us about.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
Right now, it's time to start the feed. It's Thursday, October 22nd, and I'm probably about to end up on YouTube. Or break, one of the two. It's a big day for Microsoft, isn't it, folks? Their new operating system, Windows 7, finally went on sale today, but that's not all. You see, early this morning, Microsoft also did a complete overhaul of their online store. Now, the site, which previously carried only Microsoft-branded products, has expanded to include PCs and third-party software, like Photoshop and Norton 360. Now, the move is considered to be part of a recent push by the company to lift overall sales, even if they're not, directly from Microsoft products. In other words, they're trying to mirror the sales boost that Apple receives from its retail outlets. Easy, Hannah. If you're thinking about upgrading your OS, be sure to tune into Attack of the Show tomorrow. We're going to give you a full tour of Windows 7. Now, is Disney about to revolutionize the home entertainment industry? Sources claim a Disney insider has revealed that the Mouse House is actually working on a new technology named KeyChest. Now, this new tech would make content available over multiple platforms by purchasing the rights to a published work rather than a physical copy of the work. So, for example, when you buy Pirates of the Caribbean, loser, the movie will become available for your viewing pleasure on computers and mobile phones and on-demand cable services all at once. Now, additionally, the content will be continuously available through cloud computing technology. We're all excited for that. Held by the service provider rather than by downloading, and that would greatly free up some storage space. Now, Disney plans to unveil KeyChest in the next few months. And finally, Yahoo is in hot water for giving developers lap dances. Yeah? Seems the company held a Taiwan Open Hack Day and rewarded attendees with some not safe for work entertainment. I love that you guys are going to be looking at a website while I'm about to die. But that's cool. Of course, photos of engineers and developers getting gyrated upon leaked onto the internet, and the proverbial poop hit the fan. So now Yahoo has posted an official sorry on its blog, but we're guessing those developers are still pretty happy. All right, that conference might be the only time that they get to touch a woman, so I hope I get to after this. That's it for today. Get all the news you need to know anytime at the all-new G4TV.com. You've just been fed. So let's go back to Amy, and I'm going to get off this thing now.
I kind of fear for your life right now.
Yeah, me too.
Still ahead, the only non-vomit-inducing WTF in the Attack of the Show history. Get ready for the fun of furries. I sure hope there's a fat guy dressed as a whale. Yeah. Then Mayhem Miller and Blair Butler break down UFC 104 and predict who will be smashing who in MMA Chokehold. And later, Sex Explorer the Spelunker is back with a new Smut Cave episode and an AOTS exclusive first look.
The feed is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Real quick, if I may. Just real quick.
The floor is yours.
You ever make a decision you regret, like, boy, I should ride a donkey while reading tech news?
I still think you should have done it naked.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's get the donkey back out here.
Get him out. That's an even funnier joke. No. But while most of our WTF segments dig up horrible fetishes that would make a porn star barf, our show has long been obsessed with furries.
It's true. You know, people who dress up as animals for sexual gratification, they delight us. Yeah. And I guess there's something whimsical about like a giant rabbit humping a dragon. It's just great.
What the? Here on Attack of the Show, we love dressing up in fursuits. From downy whale costumes to fuzzy tigers and panties, if it's nice and fluffy, we're wearing it. However, it's come to our attention that there's a vast amount of people out there that enjoy laying on the fur much more than we do.
Wiggle it. So cute.
Yeah, we're thinking it too. What the f***? They're called furries, or furs for short. A huge community of people who dress up like stuffed animals. Whether it's a bunny, wolf, donkey, or chipmunk, the typical furry picks one costume and sticks with it. But there are several enthusiasts out there who take it further, making their own fursuits and taking them out in public. Sometimes it's just a stroll or a swing at the park. And sometimes it's furry rock band or bowling night. But it's important to note that contrary to popular misconceptions, most furries don't have a sexual fetish for fur. In fact, the majority of furries are not sexual at all. Dressing up in a furry animal costume is simply their form of expression, which takes them back to their childhood and makes them feel innocent again. Those who do partake in sexual acts while wearing a fursuit have what's known as the transformation fetish, a paraphilia or sexual fetish for people who are repressed about sex or insecure about their appearance. This usually leads to some light groping and fondling of each other's costumes, known in the furry world as yiffing. For these people, wearing the suit helps them overcome barriers of shyness and connects them with their animalistic side. On the internet, the furry fandom is rampant, with hundreds of websites, forums, chat rooms, and YouTube channels, all dedicated strictly to the furry lifestyle. Like YouTube user Monoyasha, who documents her process of building a werewolf furry from start to finish. As for conventions, there are dozens of fur fests worldwide all year round, including Anthrocon, Fur Fright, and Furry Fiesta, just to name a few. And how much does one of these furry friends cost to own, you ask? Well, at furhappens.com, there's a huge selection of customizable fursuits that range from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending upon various colors, fur type, and other details, like tail length and hoof size, of course. So if you're antsy to come out of that fur-lined closet yourself, or just curious to know what it's like zipped up inside of a warm mascot, we're not saying it's wrong to get fuzzy. No, we're just saying, what the
Fun facts. We actually saw some furries having a bit of furry fun from our hotel window at Comic-Con this year.
Nice.
So, yeah, kind of made me wish I was blind.
Yeah, I bet. But on the plus side, we do have news of a massive leap forward in furry tech.
Yes, behold The Wiimote-controlled furry tail. Not a joke. And nothing Freudian about it. He's just showing you he's excited.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gotta get one of those.
Don't get caught in his dungeon. There's nothing weird or sexual about, the... That was weird and sexual. But there's nothing weird about these two big bad balls that I need to talk about. Because there's nothing sexual about it, I promise.
What?
This is a promo, I promise. Circle November 11th on your calendar, Amy, because Human Wrecking Balls returns for an all-new second season, everybody.
All right, two large gentlemen will tear down a gas station and helicopter using nothing but the hands they play the violin with.
Doubtful. Check out the all-new G4TV.com/wrecking for episodes 1 and 2 of the web series Pumphrey's Break Los Angeles. It's exclusive. There's exclusive videos and so much more. So head on over to that site.
So much more. And hey, not all video games are made by Nintendo and Microsoft. It's a third-party indie bonanza when we attack this. If you want to unwind after pulling off countless headshots in Borderlands, then give me your undivided attention and turn it towards Euphoria. In this ambient indie game, you control an army of trees and seedlings that inhabit an asteroid. To conquer each level, you have to send out your squadron of little seeds to take over all the other asteroids by planting trees on them. But unfortunately, it's really not as easy as you think. As you advance, most asteroids are settled by enemy trees and armies of seedlings, which you need to crush into sweet oblivion. Now, you can download this game through Steam for $20. But perhaps you want to take a break from the violence of being a carnivorous blob or tyrannical seedling. If peace is more your cup of tea, then take a look at Machinarium. This point-and-click adventure game from Amanita designs, bolsters beautiful hand-drawn environments and an imaginative world and plenty of enjoyable, challenging puzzles. You're tasked with aiding a robot through 30 levels of brain-teasing fun. And if you find yourself stuck, which most likely will happen, they offer in-game walkthroughs that you earn via minigames. So download this title at machinarium.net for $15. Now, all these point-and-click games make me angry, and you don't want to see me when I'm angry. It's time to get back to the good old arrow keys and run over to Runman. This side-scrolling platform is all about a star that can run really, really fast. Sounds silly? Who cares? It's a crap load of fun. The best part is you can't die. The object of the game is to run like hell through more than 35 levels while trying to rack up points and earn gold medals. There are 4 unlockable allies along the way and hours of high-octane star power. And if that wasn't enough, this game is free to download, so what are you waiting for? It's at whatareyouvaitingfor.info. But don't be lame. Donate a little love to the developers, Tom and Matt. Don't be stingy. Now, stay tuned, because Mayhem Miller and Blair Butler will place their bets on UFC 104. See who will get a face used as a speed bag in just a minute.
En vivo, G4 presenta El Gigador contra El Nerdo Loco.
This Saturday, fists will fly at UFC 104 right here in Los Angeles, and we're going to grapple over the 2 biggest battles on the fight card and preview the event in MMA Chokehold. Ladies and gentlemen, Blair Butler is here, and Mayhem Donkey Punch and Miller.
Hey! Good to be back. Good to be back.
For the record said, his first thought when coming onto the set today was, what if I could lay that donkey out with just one punch? I think I could take him.
About $1 for every time I thought about laying out a donkey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's get right down to it. First up, Lyoto Machida versus Mauricio Shogun Rua. The winner actually takes home the light heavyweight title, and both are pretty evenly matched in height and reach. Now, Machida is undefeated, but Shogun definitely has more fight experience, and they're both known for their striking, but Machida's karate style is something that a lot of fighters have problems countering. So, Mayhem, do you think Shogun will actually be able to counter that style?
A lot of people are counting Shogun out immediately, but, as is evidenced by this B-roll right here, this footage shows he has a great amount of takedown ability, as well as, his stand-up is top-notch. He has a great striking style to match with this awkward, unorthodox karate style and high kicks, and including his ground and pound, which is just like flying from the air, you know, from the stand-up position, way down, bringing the hammer.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But if he uses those kicks, does he stand a chance?
I think so. I think he can leg kick Machida, slow him down, and then use the takedown. It's definitely a possibility. That's what I would try to do if I were him.
It's definitely a possibility. It sounds like you're counting him out from the start like everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay,
I said a lot of people
fine.
count him out, but I'm not so sure either.
All right, well, Blair, what about you? Do you think Machida is just going to dismantle Shogun?
Yeah, sadly, yes. I mean, look, the thing is, nobody's quite found the key to taking Machida apart, but the guy's incredibly elusive. He rarely gets hit. He's won every damn round he's ever fought in the UFC, which is unheard of. His strike accuracy is insane. It's something like 65%. He made Rashad Evans, a former light heavyweight champion, look like a chump right there. You can see him. He's so fast and so good and so talented. It's like start watching your old Karate Kid VHS because I guess the Karate Kid's back.
But what about resting on the laurels or coasting on the reputation? Is that? I mean, that's not really Machida's style, right?
He trains with
Anderson Silva.
Silva. I mean, you know, he's got
who doesn't train with Anderson Silva? I do Windsor Pilates with him every Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I just think that he's going to be able to pick Shogun apart, slow, wear him down, chip away at the armor, and over a 5-round fight. Nighty night.
So you're picking Machida?
Machida.
Machida it is, Blair?
No doubt for me, Machida.
All right, Machida across the board. But next up we have Cain Velasquez versus Ben Rothwell. These are two heavyweights that are eager to prove their worth in this division. Rothwell is much larger than Velasquez, but he's not nearly as fast. He also, though, has 5 extra years of experience with mixed martial arts, and Velasquez usually wants to take it to the ground, but Rothwell, he's obviously going to want to keep it standing. But Blair, is he going to be able to? I mean, is he going to stay undefeated?
Well, I think that's the big question. Look, Cain Velasquez, great wrestler, is amazing at taking people to the ground and pounding them out. I mean, he's incredibly dominant this way, but he has mostly fought guys who, in some cases, also fight at light heavyweights. So he fought smaller heavyweights. Ben Rothwell is huge. Ben Rothwell's going to have like 40 pounds on him, and he's got to take
What about a guy like Congo,
out.
though?
Well, Czech Congo was bigger, but, you know, the worst victim in the Czech Congo fight was Czech Congo's pants. Like, Czech Congo's pants got destroyed.
True.
I mean, look, he weathered a couple crazy punches from Czech Congo, so we know he can take a big punch, but Rothwell's huge, so he's really going to have to prove and dominate in this fight because a lot of people question him after the Congo fight, even though he won.
Let's talk about his size. Is that going to be the deciding factor?
Yeah, Rothwell is a big goon. So, you know, it's one of those things like he has good experience with the wrestling and whatnot, and he has hits with hammers. You know, like he moves good angles. He catches guys with counter punches. He can punch from every direction, and when he hits you or kicks you, it hurts, you know.
But how's his takedown defense,
like fighting that donkey.
Now,
taking on the donkey.
You know, like his takedown defense is a little suspect. If you look to a guy on Ultimate Fighter this season, Roy Nelson took him down quite a few times in their fight in IFL. So that being said, Velasquez is top-notch wrestler. And it might be a long night for him smearing that brown pride tattoo all over his face.
Yeah. So what do you think then? Are you going with Velasquez?
I'm going with Velasquez.
Velasquez it is.
Yes.
And Blair, it looks like you're agreeing again.
You know what? Ben Rothwell has a puncher's chance. His size may be the factor, but I really think Velasquez is going to pull it out and hopefully be dominant.
I'm falling even more in love with you. Sorry.
If you guys need a second, I can leave. We can bring out the donkey.
The feeling
we can cue up some music.
That's what kind of party this is going to be.
Let's go. Let's tap a keg and a half.
Second, the donkey show.
All right. So to recap, you're both picking Velasquez to win 104, but you also both picked Franklin and over Dos Santos and UFC 103.
No. Dos Santos won. We picked him.
Yeah, you picked Dos Santos. As we just saw on the little graphic there, Franklin.
What are you trying to say, man?
Well, I'm just saying, you guys are 1 for 1.
We did say Vitor Belfort is unpredictable. We both said he's
Do we still have the graphic? Can we get it up again? I just want Mayhem to see that he's 1 for 1 again. Maybe we can't. There it is. So 1 for 1. Just pointing that out. So we're keeping tabs now. Kids.
Man!
We're keeping track of this.
Nobody told me that we were going to keep a record of this, so I wouldn't even come on the show again.
We got an Excel spreadsheet. You're in serious trouble. We'll see you next time, though. Good luck with 104 picks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to Mayhem and Blair and the donkey. We'll find out who's right at this weekend's UFC 104. But now, back to my opponent for the middleweight hosting title, Amy.
Oh, Kevbo, that's an unmatched fight. We all know that you're clearly in the lightweight division.
You said you loved my ground and pound.
Welcome to the gun show. Still ahead, we'll journey deep into the bowels of the smut cave. But first, a new film called Vampire's Assistant wonders what it would be like to work for an eternally youthful boss who drains their life force. Kevin's interns know exactly what that's like, and so does Blair Herter.
Cashing in on Hollywood's blood frenzy is Cirque du Freak, the vampire's assistant. A tale of a teenage boy who trades in high school for a new set of fangs under the mentorship of senior vampire John C. Reilly and his band of carnies.
Dad, I saw his painting in one of my vampire books. He's a vampire.
There are a couple times where I felt like your character could have gone a lot darker than you did.
I think that's one of the main appeals of this movie and of the series of books is that it's presented in this kind of adventurous story that is not so intense that it's going to give you horrible nightmares.
Darren, want to become a vampire?
You're a beautiful woman. Why are you going to take a role that puts a beard on your face?
You gotta love me for who I am, so it shouldn't matter to you whether I have a beard or not.
I assume they weren't actually gluing a beard on you.
They were gluing the beard on me, and then they used the special effects to grow it and to do other things with it. Death, redemption, despair. Well, don't worry about it.
I watched the stunt scenes. As a guy, that must have been incredibly fun to do.
Yeah.
You know, walk me through that process.
We pretty much did it all. Me and Josh Hutcherson, who plays Steve in the movie, we had this big battle at the end, and Josh came up, and I went down too far, and we, like, totally knocked heads.
I became a vampire to save these two sticks.
Where do you hope to see the series go from here?
I hope that they just follow the trajectory of the books. You know, we had to do a bit of reimagining and rejiggering of different aspects of the stories in the first 3 books, but once the groundwork is laid here, there's some really cool parts of the vampire world.
If you're growing tired of the vampire fetish, throw in some carnies and a bearded Selma Hayek. Nothing is more bizarre than Cirque du Freak.
Coming up tomorrow on an all-new AOTS, Saturday Night Live's Kenan Thompson will be here to talk about the horror comedy Stan Helsing. Mayhem Miller and Blair Butler wrestle over who will win UFC 104 in MMA Chokehold. And just in time for Halloween, it's the live-action AOTS classic Slasher School. See it tomorrow.
Welcome back. We've got Smut.
Say that one more time, please.
Welcome back. We've got Smut.
That's the part. Yeah, we do have Smut for you. See, last month the guys from Woodshop Films, a.k.a. the Smut Cave, they actually gave a live performance for their fans in Philly, and unfortunately this is all we could actually show you before the night got rowdy, which is when it got good, but not so TV safe.
Yeah, but we're going to make up for it. The Spelunker sent us their newest episode, and here's an AOTS exclusive first look.
Smut Cave, Smut Cave, Smut Cave, Smut Cave. Good afternoon. I'm the Spelunker, and after careful thought and deliberation, I grudgingly decided to join Twitter.
So, what do we got here? Vacuum sealed my sweaters this morning. Hello, summer.
For those of you who haven't quite figured it out yet, Twitter is the social networking tool that takes everything mundane and unnecessary about Facebook and isolates it, much like cancer cells. With its 140-character limit, it's basically encouraging as little effort and forethought as possible in the tweets of its millions of users. Despite hosting an ocean of mediocrity, Twitter also features some hidden gems dispersed throughout its vile ranks. The Counting Crows Twitter is among my favorites, if only for its complete and unabashed sincerity in every tweet. Let's read a few. It's the company you keep that makes any place special, which is why every day is special for me. Don't forget how awesome NYC can be, especially in the fall and spring. Never. I'm a New Yorker. Period. I just died a little inside. That one's my favorite. Perhaps the biggest disappointment in Twitter is Bill Cosby. Nowhere in his tweets is there any mention of Jell-O pudding pops or Kodak film. It's all civil rights this and education reform that. You've fallen a long way from Leonard Part 6, Mr. Cosby. For those of you actually watching this show for the smut, I've spelunked a number of porn stars who are way out there, including, but not limited to, Joanna Angel, Stoya, and Christina Aguilera. And yes, there does exist a Twitter porno. It's called Pornstar Tweet, and it was made by Immoral Productions. I guess it was just a matter of time. If you want to check out any of the tweets we've discussed here today, you can follow me at twitter.com/thespelunker. Hell, I'll even Twitter about this right now. Smart cave, smart cave, smart cave, smart cave.
I have got to follow that guy.
I hope you standard deaf viewers especially enjoyed that last joke. A big thank you to the Spelunker and anyone who has the good taste to watch the Smut Cave on a regular basis. Love those guys.
Love it. Right now, it is time for today's epic fail.
Yeah, do you ever get cut off by a douche and a viper on the freeway? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Do you ever wish said douche would experience karmic retribution?
Sure do.
Then you'll enjoy today's epic fail.
Can't say you didn't deserve it.
No, of course not. But, well, I mean, we couldn't see what the driver was wearing. I think it's safe to assume it was probably an Ed Hardy shirt.
That's a good bet. It is a safe bet.
Yeah.
And if that's not reason enough for a fail right there.
Oh, no, it is.
That is enough. I mean, yeah.
Totally reason enough.
Go to the all-new G4TV.com/AOTS for all the things you saw today and so much more.
I want to hand out some thank yous here. Thanks to Blair Butler. Thanks to Mayhem Miller. But most importantly, thanks to our guest host, Amy Paffrath, for rocking the Attack of the Show set. And thanks to the donkey.
Yeah, that donkey kicked butt.
he almost broke our set. Everybody, X-Play starts right now. Good night, everybody. Enjoy. There's some video games and whatnots. Whoa! Look at you hulking out. Roy Ray.